What do I do? Okay, your dad's got me a bike. बाप के पैसे की बाइक पे ऐसे कर रहा है. Why did I go for the ZX4R instead of the 6R or probably 10R? So, what's up, guys? Today I decided to sort of change the format a bit. Uh, so far, I used to do ride vlogs every Sunday or every time I was going out with my group. But दिल्ली में सर्दियाँ आ चुकी हैं and it is the perfect time to ride. So lately I've been taking my bike a lot to my office as well. So I thought, why not use this opportunity to also ensure that we go ahead and record these rides and also chit chat with you on the way. Today we got a bit late while going to office because there were too many calls. It's 1 o'clock right now and I'm heading to office. And while we are on the way, why not do something fun? Off late on my Instagram page, again that goes by the name of that Kava boy, I have been doing a lot of ask me anything kind of posts, and what I've realized is that because my account was faceless for the longest time, people want to know more about what people with expensive bikes do, how does their day look like, also questions like why did I go for the ZX4R instead of the 6R or probably 10R. So I think I will make a separate video altogether on why ZX4R instead of any other bike. But to answer the rest of the questions, I feel that we should start with the fact that what do I do? Okay, so I have been working in the corporates for the longest time, and currently I work in the automobile sector. Before this, I was working in the food tech sector for the longest time. That was the only thing on my resume, and that's when I chose to take a plunge to get into the automobile sector, because again, automobiles are something that interested me. And yeah, I work in the automobile sector, working for an international market from India. It is an Indian brand. Take a guess, which one could it be? Tell me in the comment section below. What do you think is the organization that I work for? Apart from that, a lot of people also have been commenting on my recent reels, wherein people on the road have been fools, to put it politely. But they've been commenting on my reels that your dad's got me a bike, बाप के पैसे की बाइक पे ऐसे कर रहा है. There's that. So yes, that is not true, sadly. This is a bike that I bought on my own, and before this I had a Ninja 650. Before that I had a classic 500. Before that I had a Charisma R. That's where my biking journey started, and I think it is very important for you to move into different power sections onto the motorcycles progressively. Why do I say that? I say that because of the fact that I personally have been in a lot of accidents back in the day. So, what I've learned is that while your right time, your experience is giving you a lot of knowledge on how to be on the road, what to do, how to save yourself in case of emergencies. But a lot of times, the biggest power that is the fact that यार पावर कंट्रोल में नहीं रहती और you are just working with too much power and it just gets overwhelming. Now when a person has that much of power in your hands and you're just uh, riding on the road or in the city or on the highway, you don't even realize and you try to maximize on all the available power. But I feel that's the worst thing you can do, because knowing your braking distance, knowing your braking ability is something that you should understand first before you keep on using your power, because of which I feel that that natural progression is very important. A lot of times people also ask me this, that why did you go from a 650cc onto a 400cc, because Ninja 650 ZX4R, what they need to realize is that the power difference is pretty much right. And also inline 4 is a completely different animal compared to a two-cylinder bike. There are going to be insane surges of power at certain RPM bands, and yeah, that's the reason I wanted to progress from a 4R to a 6R to probably a liter class, which I don't think that I would ever buy a liter class, because of the fact that liter classes just don't make sense to me. There is one dream bike that is a liter class for me, that is S1000RR. If I ever do buy a liter class, that would be the only bike, because that bike, along with the power that it's giving you, it also has all the electronics in place that even if you mess up, it is going to save you, right? The electronic systems of a BMW S1000RR are so advanced that they would save you in multiple places. May it be cornering, may it be braking, may it be a lot of other places. So that probably would be the only like 1000cc or a liter class bike that I would ever buy. Otherwise, if I were to upgrade from this, it would be a 6R. Then someday if I also wanted to upgrade that, then it would go on to be a S1000RR. Apart from that, what are the other questions that people have asked me on these AMAs? Now that I'm riding, it's kind of blank, but okay, another one that I feel comes up a lot, and not just to me, I think with everybody, that what does it take to buy this kind of a bike? This kind of a bike basically costs you anywhere between, or rather upwards of 10 lakh. So whenever you're going to purchase any like super bike kind of a thing, you need at least 2 lakhs to have a comfortable EMI. You need those 2 lakhs for a good down payment for a comfortable EMI, right? And it is not just buying a machine. You also need to realize that do you have the kind of income that would actually sustain you to maintain this bike. Oh my god, AMG SLA 55. Let's go, boys. Nice, that was fun. And on the Gurgaon routes, you will also see the newest cars as soon as possible. That was a Rubicon? No, that was a Thar Rocks, the Fido Thar, which has been modified very tastefully. Yamaha. So that is what it is. Yeah, coming back to our buying a bike and maintaining a bike questions. So, apart from the down payment that we already spoke about, there is also a component of the EMIs that you're going to be paying monthly, and then every 3 to 6 months, depending on how much you ride your bike, or even annually after some point of time of owning the bike, you would have your services. Now, what do typical services on such bikes cost you? These bikes would cost you for a single service on an average somewhere around 9 to 10,000, depending from what service it is. The initial services are somewhere between 8,000 to 8,500, 9,000, and the later services, which become the annual services, go towards 10,000, 12,000. So if I was to average it out, it would be basically a 10,000 rupees service cost as such. And then again, if you were to get into a pothole, or if you by chance just fell off the bike and you broke something, that is another major cost that you're going to incur. So yeah, that is pretty much the overall things you need to know to buy a bike and maintain a bike of this structure. Thulle spotted. ये तो मेरी गलती थी भाई. Okay, so we have almost reached our office. I think that's it for this one. Catch you up in the next one. Until then, comment on what else would you like me to talk about. Comment on how would you like to see the next videos. Like, subscribe. I'm pretty new out here, so obviously every subscribe matters. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. See you in the next one.